Good evening. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5 o'clock. Members of the public are invited to participate in this meeting of council by accessing the meeting, which is live streamed on our Middlesex Centre YouTube channel, or by contacting the municipal clerk to receive a registration link to join the meeting being held electronically. Members of the public may also attend the meeting in person at the Coldstream Community Centre located at 10227 Ilderton Road in Coldstream. So just before we begin, I had just a couple of comments to make. First of all, I want to start with our Community Services Department. Our team at the Community Services were very helpful in preparing the landscaping at the Ilderton Library ahead of the Canada Day decorating contest. Ultimately, the Ilderton Library was the winner in this annual contest, which is held as a part of the Ilderton Agricultural Fairs. So kudos to the team for making sure that they were picked for the winner. So that was great news. As well, in addition, as part of our agenda this evening, there is a correspondence item from the Municipal Law Enforcement Officers Association acknowledging the 15 years of enforcement our enforcement officer, Dana Lair, has completed. So we want to make sure that we acknowledge and congratulate Dan and thank him for his ongoing dedication to the field of municipal law enforcement. And late breaking news, we got an email today from our Director of Public Works and Engineering. The water team, which consists of Eric and his water people, they actually did something that's never been done before. And I can say that fairly confidently because I was here when we transitioned. I don't ever remember this, but the bottom line is that the team got a perfect rating for two of our water stations, that in Burn and Melrose, pardon me. And that's quite an achievement because the level of scrutiny that is required to get no comments on a form is significant. And there were two at the same time with 0 reports. So congratulations to the team. That's, I think, very reassuring for the public that they're working really hard and making sure our drinking water is safe. So with that, I will now move on to business. There are no additions to the agenda for this council meeting. As well, there are no disclosures of pecuniary interest to note. There are no delegations, presentations, or petitions, so we can move to the adoption of the minutes. The meeting, the motion before us is that the minutes of the July 5th, 2023 meeting of council be adopted as printed. Mover, please, Councillor Burrs and Councillor Shipley, all in favor? And that carries. Thank you. Now, on the consent agenda, we have 3 items. Is there anything here that council would like to pull before we adopt these items? Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Just through you, Madam Mayor. To Arnie, I don't know if Arnie would like to comment on the cloud permit thing that's in there, if he has anything to say on it.
Yeah, sure. Through the mayor to council, it's just a brief report advising that cloud permit is now not just building permitting, it's also planning applications. It's the same platform. When the public logs into cloud permit, they make a choice now to apply for a building permit or apply for a planning application, and it steps them through the process from there. Right now they're slow steps. We're going through minor variances and site plan approval, but hopefully this summer we also want to branch that into consent applications and rezonings until subdivisions later this year. So it's progress.
Yes, so that is good news. If there's nothing else, the motion before us is that consent agenda items through 6.1 through 6.3 on the July 19th, 2023 agenda be adopted as recommended. Is there a mover, please, and a seconder? Councillor Arts and Councillor Heffernan, all in favor? And that carries. Okay, we're moving to staff reports now, and I'll look to Arnie again to present the report on the agreement with municipality of Strathroy-Caradoc.
Thank you, Mayor DeVete. Through the mayor to council, just a brief report that building division staff have been approached by building division staff in Strathroy-Caradoc to see if we can assist them with providing chief building official services for a temporary period this summer while the current chief building official is away. They do not have a deputy chief building official in Strathroy Caradoc, so they've asked if we can provide that service very temporarily for them this summer. They've appointed 2 days ago at Strathroy Council meeting, they appointed both myself and Wayne Isabart as deputy chief building officials in anticipation that council will approve this. And for the amount of time spent, we're satisfied that we will not be required to do inspections, really just more supervisory of building permit issuance over that period. So we think that's something that we can absorb with our staff time, and recommend that council supports that.
Are there any questions, comments? Councillor Shipley, go ahead.
To the Mayor Darney, are they looking at filling the position of the deputy chief building official? Is this going to be a continuing process?
Yeah, through the mayor, I don't have clarification on that. That's a good question that we have brought up. Well, at this time, it's just this period.
Is there anyone else? No? Okay. In that case, we have a motion before us, which is that the report BLD 03-2023 regarding temporary chief building official service agreement with the municipality of Strathroy Caradoc be received, and that Middlesex Centre Council approve the agreement for the provision of chief building official services with the municipality of Strathroy Caradoc. Is there a mover, please? Deputy Mayor Brennan and Councillor Heffernan, all in favor? And that carries. Yeah. Okay, we're just waiting for someone who's not online yet. So we can, let's move to item number 11. We have correspondence items. There are about half a dozen here. Is there anything anyone would like to ask about? Yes, go ahead, Councillor Heffernan.
Through the mayor to the mayor or deputy mayor. I'm just wondering on item number 2 and 3, the Middlesex County Connect. Do you have any numbers, like how is it being used so far? I know people are interested, but I'm just not sure what's the uptake so far.
I think the easiest answer is that service started during COVID, and it wasn't a really great uptake, but it was a consistent ridership, low numbers. There was an assessment of the routes and who was traveling on which one. The route through Dorchester was used, and the route to the north was not, and that caused the reassessment. And now we have the route from Ilderton through Arva to Masonville and the school, Fatshaw College. The ridership has been coming up. I think they have regular numbers on the website, if I'm not mistaken, at the county. If not, I can get those, and I can even send it out to council. I'll just ask Cindy to send those out. But I'm optimistic because it seems that I've seen a lot of talk too on, say, Ilderton Neighbors, for example. Yes. And the day that I went on it, I wasn't the only one waiting in Ilderton. And so I'm thinking, and it depends on which time. Some people are going early to get to work and so on. So overall, I'm not sure. We haven't had a report since we started this one, but I'll see where we're at. Is that okay? You want to add things? Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, yesterday we had lunch at the county. I actually had lunch with the lady that's in charge of the bus, and she's quite happy. Ridership is starting to pick up a little bit, and she's also exploring with Western University the possibility of having the bus stop at Western also. So hopefully it's going to work out, and she's quite optimistic. She's been going to some public events in each area, and she wanted to work one for Middlesex Center, so I suggested she come to the fair and be at the fair and have a booth at the fair to promote the bus. So hopefully she said she was going to do that. So we'll see how it goes from there.
I can only add, this is a person who's really enthusiastic, loves their job, and is a creative thinker. Yeah.
There we go. Just wondering, how long will the funding last? Pardon me?
2025.
So 2025 potential for renewal after that? We don't know. It's going to take a while to get awareness and boost it, I think. But okay, nothing else.
It hasn't been It hasn't been 2 months yet that we've been doing Ilderton, right? Okay, yeah, so we're going on 2 months, but I think it's up, yeah, cause for optimism. Okay, if there's nothing else on these items, we have a motion before us that correspondence items 11.1 through 11.6 listed on the July 19th, 2023 agenda be received as information. Could I have a mover, please, and a seconder? Councillor Burrs, Councillor Heffernan, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Okay, we'll move now to the County Council update. I'll look to the Deputy Mayor to present that.
Thank you. It was reported that the golf tournament, the county golf tournament, won made $23,000 this year with Lucan soccer, Lucan skating, Lucan minor hockey, and Lucan baseball, each receiving $5,720 each. So that's where the funds from the tournament went. So we passed a couple of things for the county for repairs on the vehicle, for the county vehicles, land ambulance at $194,550 over 3 years. Maintenance, repairs, and inspections on the ambulances, $416,663 over 3 years. The primary care program that the county was requested to put $20,000 in was turned down. It's a medical thing, and it's felt that the province should be looking after that and not the county. The decentralization strategy for the county, hopefully by 2025, we will be out of the existing building and into a new 2,000 square foot municipal office for the county. It's about a 22 to 39 month timeline to build the new building. Attainable housing review, 10% new housing from 2023 to 2027. Affordable rental housing in 2022 is defined as less than $1,039 per month. 50% of new housing has to be affordable housing, and that is signed or specified at under $572,000. And 10% of those new housing units are to be purposed for rental units, and 25% multiple units or apartments. 5-year replacement plan for machinery for the county from 2024 to 2025 was presented, and over the course of each year, how much capital was going to be spent on new equipment. And it's roughly about just a little over $1 million a year on capital expenditures for the county over the next 5 years per year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, I don't see any, so we're still waiting. So we're moving ahead now. What we're going to do is move into the Committee of Adjustment, and then we'll have James present the report, and then we can make our decisions and move forward. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is the motion before us is that Council adjourn its regular meeting at 5:14 p.m. in order to sit as the Committee of Adjustment under Section 45 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended to consider the minor variance application listed on the July 19, 2023 Council agenda. Could I have a mover, please, and a seconder? Councillor Arts, Councillor Shipley, in favor? And that is carried. So now we're ready for the report, and James is presenting that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And through the chair, good evening, members of council. I'm presenting this report this evening on behalf of Dan Fitzgerald, and this report recommendation represents that which has been prepared by our county planning staff. The application before you is minor variance application A12-2023. It was filed by Salim Fawadi, and it relates to the property that's municipally known as 10083 Oxbow Drive. That application is in your agenda packages along with a location map and a site scope showing the site facts. The purpose and effect of this application is to seek relief from the comprehensive zoning bylaw as it relates to the minimum rear yard setback requirement for a deck in the urban residential first density exception zone. The applicant specifically is requesting a minimum rear yard setback of 4.8 meters, whereas our current zoning bylaw requires a minimum rear yard setback of 6.5 meters. So the effect of the proposal is to facilitate the construction of a deck into that rear yard setback. The subject lands are located in Kamoka. The lands are bounded by low-density, single-detached residences on both interior side yards, as well as a future residential subdivision to the south and an existing institutional location to the north. As previously mentioned, the property is designated settlement area in the Middlesex County official plan, residential in the the Middlesex Center official plan, and it's zoned urban residential first density. So to summarize that again, what the applicant is seeking is a request for a minimum rear yard setback of 4.8 meters, whereas the bylaw requires a minimum rear yard setback of 6.5 meters. With respect to consultation, that has taken place. Notice of the application has been circulated to agencies and area property owners, all in accordance with the provisions of the Planning Act. At the time of writing this subject report, no comments or concerns have been received regarding the public on this proposal, and the clerk's office has not received any comments from the public. Additionally, the agency has agencies have provided the following comments at the time of writing the report. Enbridge Pipelines does not have any assets in the area. The municipality's chief building officials reviewed the application, has indicated no objections. Similarly, our development review coordinator and our director of public works and engineering have also reviewed the application and have no adjustments at this time. So following through with the analyses of the report, you will note that our senior planner has indicated that the proposal does comply with the general intent and purpose of our official plan and the comprehensive zoning bylaw. The request is minor in nature, and the request represents appropriate development on the subject property. So at this time, I'll leave it at that and open things up for any questions or debate from council. Thank you.
And thank you for that report. I'll look to council for questions or comments. I don't see any, so we do have a motion before us that the minor variance application A12 2023 filed by Mr. Fawadi for relief from the comprehensive zoning bylaw in order to establish a minimum rear yard setback for an attached deck of 4.8 meters, whereas the zoning bylaw requires a minimum rear yard setback of 6.5 meters for a property known as 10083 Oxbow Drive, be granted subject to the following conditions: that the minimum rear yard setback shall reduce to 4.8 meters. It will only apply to the deck, and the remainder of a single detached dwelling shall maintain a minimum 8-meter setback as shown on the site plan. And that the reasons for granting the minor variance application A1223 are that the request complies with the general intent and purpose of Middlesex Center's official plan and comprehensive zoning bylaw. The request is minor in nature, and it represents appropriate development on the property. Is there a mover, please? Second. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask about questions. Yeah, do you have? I'll confirm that no one else has questions. Okay, so in that case, we do have a motion before us. Thank you, Councillor Burrs and Councillor Arts. Thank you. And all in favor? And that is carried. Okay, that is the only item on our Committee of Adjustment tonight. So a motion before us is that the Committee of Adjourn at 5:19 p.m. and Council resume the regular meeting. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Shipley and Deputy Mayor Brennan, all in favor? And that carries. Thank you. Okay, now we have to jump to item 13, which is the closed session. And we have to move into that. So the motion before us is the Council of Municipality of Middlesex Center adjourned to closed session at 5:20 p.m. pursuant to section 239(2) of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended to discuss the following matters. Section 239(2)(c), a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, potential property disposition word 2, under section 2E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. And that would be litigation update. Word 4, development. And under 2F, advice that is subject to solicitor client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, litigation update word 4, development. Could I have a mover, please, and a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Heffernan and Councillor Arts. All in favor? Okay, we are now going to wait for the live stream to start.